Welcome to Numismatic Vault, the channel where coins aren't just spare change, they're hidden treasures waiting to be found. In today's video, we're diving deep into the world of rare and valuable state quarters. Some of these coins are worth far more than you'd ever imagine, and the best part, they could be sitting in your pocket or coin jar right now. So get ready, because by the end of this video, you might be looking at your change in a whole new way. Top 1. Today we are going to talk about one of the most iconic pieces from the state quarter program, a coin that represents history, design, and hidden value all in one small piece of metal. We are focusing on the South Carolina state quarter, minted in the year 2000, a coin that looks ordinary at first glance but can hold surprises that make collectors' hearts race. Stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you'll discover just how valuable this coin can become when the right conditions are met. The state quarter program began in 1999, and it was one of the most ambitious projects ever undertaken by the U.S. Mint. Each coin was designed to honor one of the 50 states, and collectors immediately fell in love with the idea of building a set that represented the entire nation. South Carolina, admitted as the 8th state back in 1788, received its quarter in the year 2000, making it one of the early coins in this legendary program. With millions struck for circulation, you might assume these coins are common and not worth more than 25 cents. But, as we'll uncover, certain examples of the South Carolina quarter are anything but ordinary. Let's begin with the design itself. The obverse features the familiar portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan and slightly modified for the state quarters. It's a classic image that symbolizes leadership and the nation's enduring history. On the reverse, the South Carolina coin proudly displays the outline of the state, along with three powerful symbols, the palmetto tree, the Carolina wren, and the yellow jessamine, which are the state tree, bird, and flower. Together they showcase the natural beauty and cultural pride of South Carolina. Above the design are the words, "The Palmetto State," a proud reminder of the state's role in American history. Now, let's get into the part that collectors really care about, rarity and value. While millions of these quarters were minted, not all of them are created equal. Coins that were struck with unusual errors or that survived in pristine, uncirculated condition can command prices that are far beyond their face value. Errors are often the key to transforming a regular pocket change coin into a rare treasure. In the case of the South Carolina 2000 quarter, collectors have identified a number of interesting varieties. Some quarters show double die errors, where the design elements appear slightly doubled. Others might display off-center strikes, where the image is misaligned, creating a visually striking coin. Still others can have die cracks or planchet flaws, giving them unique patterns that make them one of a kind. Error coins are always fascinating because they are accidental works of art. No two are exactly the same, and because they are produced in such limited numbers, demand from collectors is always high. Combine that with the popularity of the state quarter program, and you've got a recipe for some truly exciting valuations. Condition is equally important. Coins that come straight from mint rolls or proof sets, showing no signs of wear, are far more desirable than those that have circulated in everyday commerce. A South Carolina quarter in mint state or proof condition, especially with a rare error, can be the crown jewel of a collection. Collectors love these coins not just for their rarity but also for the story they tell. The year 2000 was a moment of transition into a new millennium, and the state quarter program was uniting Americans across the country in a shared collecting adventure. Holding on to a South Carolina quarter with an unusual feature is like holding a piece of that shared history, but also a potential treasure chest of value. That's why coin enthusiasts are always on the lookout for these gems, carefully inspecting their change and searching through collections for that one coin that might stand out. Now we come to the exciting part you've been waiting for. How much can this coin really be worth? While most South Carolina state quarters will only be worth their face value, the rare examples with dramatic errors and in pristine condition can command incredible sums at auctions and from serious collectors. In fact, some of the most extraordinary finds have been valued as high as $86,000. Imagine finding a single quarter, just 25 cents, and realizing it could change your life in such a huge way. That's the magic of coin collecting. It combines history, art, and the thrill of treasure hunting into one amazing hobby. So, the next time you're sorting through your change, take a careful look at your quarters, especially the South Carolina 2000 issue. You never know, you might just be holding a hidden fortune in the palm of your hand. Top 2. We're turning our attention to one of the most remarkable coins from the United States State Quarter Program, a coin that carries not only beautiful design but also hidden value for collectors who know exactly what to look for. We're talking about the Nebraska State Quarter, minted in 2006, a piece that represents history, culture, and in some cases, serious money. By the end of this video, you'll find out just how much this coin can really be worth if you happen to have the right one in your collection. The State Quarter Program, which ran from 1999 through 2008, gave each of the 50 states a chance to be honored on the reverse side of a U.S. quarter. Nebraska's turn came in 2006, and its design is one of the most eye-catching of the entire series. On the obverse you'll see the familiar image of George Washington, the nation's first president, which was slightly modified to fit the program. But the real story lies on the reverse, which proudly displays Chimney Rock, one of the most famous landmarks along the Oregon Trail, with a covered wagon making its way across the open plains. Above the wagon shines a rising sun, symbolizing hope, courage, and the pioneering spirit of those who traveled west. This design captures a powerful moment in American history. Chimney Rock was a beacon for travelers heading west in the 19th century, a sign that they were on the right path. To have that landmark preserved on a coin makes the Nebraska quarter a little piece of that pioneering journey. For collectors, that historical connection adds an extra layer of fascination. Now, while millions of Nebraska quarters were struck for circulation, not every coin is equal in the eyes of collectors. Most pieces are worth no more than their face value, but certain examples can be incredibly rare and valuable. And the key to their value lies in a combination of condition and minting errors. Let's start with condition. A coin that has circulated heavily, passing through hands, cash registers, and coin jars, is unlikely to be worth more than 25 cents. But when a coin is preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition, it becomes much more desirable. Collectors look for sharp details, flawless surfaces, and a clean strike that brings out the beauty of the design. Nebraska quarters found in mint rolls, sets, or protected holders often stand out from the rest, and those are the coins that can fetch strong prices on the market, but the real excitement comes from minting errors, and the Nebraska 2006 quarter has some notable examples. Error coins are accidental products of the minting process that slip through quality control and make their way into circulation. They can include double die errors, where parts of the design appear doubled and give the coin a striking and unusual look. There are also off-center strikes, where the design is shifted noticeably to one side, leaving parts of the coin blank. Some quarters even show die cracks, clipped planchets, or unusual metal flaws that make each error coin unique. What makes error coins so special is that they are unintentional, unpredictable, and rare. No two errors are exactly the same, which means each one is a unique collectible. For coin enthusiasts, finding an error coin in their collection is like uncovering a hidden gem. And when that error happens to be on a popular state quarter like the Nebraska 2006, demand from collectors can drive the value sky high. It's not just error coins that stand out. Proof versions of the Nebraska quarter, struck with extra care and sold in special sets, are also highly prized, especially when they remain untouched and retain their original shine. Combine proof condition with a rare minting anomaly, and you have the perfect recipe for a coin that collectors will pay a fortune to own. Think about it, an ordinary-looking coin that might be sitting in someone's pocket change or tucked away in an old jar could actually be a small fortune waiting to be discovered. That's the thrill of coin collecting. Every time you sort through coins, you're not just looking at metal, you're looking at pieces of history, art, and sometimes serious money. So, just how much can a Nebraska state quarter from 2006 be worth if you find one with rare errors and in top condition? While most will remain worth only their face value, the most exceptional examples, with dramatic minting flaws or proof-like preservation, have been known to reach staggering amounts at auctions and in private sales. Some of these rare Nebraska quarters have been valued as high as $83,000, yes, you heard that right, $83,000 for a single quarter. That's the incredible potential hidden inside an ordinary coin. It's stories like this that keep collectors searching, inspecting, and never giving up on the possibility that the next coin they examine could be the 1.0. If you come across a Nebraska 2006 state quarter, don't overlook it. Take the time to check its condition, look carefully for any signs of errors, and if you're lucky, you just might be holding one of the most valuable quarters out there. Coin collecting is about patience, passion, and curiosity, and the Nebraska quarter is a perfect example of why this hobby continues to inspire treasure hunters all over the world. Top 3. We are going to explore the Utah State Quarter, released in 2007 as part of the United States Mint's ambitious 50-state quarter program. This coin may seem like just another piece of pocket change, but for collectors it holds a blend of history, design, and hidden rarity that makes it one of the most exciting coins to look out for. Stay with me until the end of this video because we will reveal just how much the rarest examples of this Utah quarter can be worth, and I promise, the number will surprise you. The state quarter program was launched in 1999 and quickly became one of the most popular coin collecting projects in U.S. history. Every year, a handful of states would have their own unique design featured on the reverse of the Washington quarter, allowing each state to showcase its culture, symbols, or important landmarks. By 2007, the program was in full swing, and Utah's design made a big impression with collectors and historians alike. On the obverse side of the coin, you'll see the traditional portrait of George Washington, a familiar image that unites the entire quarter series. But turn it over, and the magic begins. Utah's design is bold and full of movement, celebrating the completion of the Transcontinental Railroad in 1869. At the center, 2 locomotives meet nose to nose, symbolizing the connection of the East and West across the United States. Between them stands a golden spike, representing the ceremonial final spike that joined the tracks at Promontory Summit in Utah. Arcing across the top are the words, "Crossroads of the West," a phrase that perfectly captures the state's vital role in connecting the country. This design is more than just art on metal. It is a tribute to one of the most transformative achievements in American history, the uniting of the nation by rail. For collectors, that deep historical meaning adds a layer of significance to the Utah quarter. But history and symbolism are only part of what makes this coin so special. Its rarity, condition, and potential minting errors are what truly drive its value. Most Utah quarters, like any state quarter, were produced in the tens of millions and used in everyday circulation. Those common examples, especially ones that have been passed around in change for years, will only ever be worth their face value. But coins that were carefully preserved in mint condition tell a different story. A pristine Utah quarter, showing no wear and retaining its original luster, immediately stands out in the eyes of collectors. Graded high by professional services, such coins can command strong premiums. Even more exciting are the Utah quarters that left the mint with unusual errors. Minting errors are accidents that occur during the striking process, and they can transform an ordinary coin into a true rarity. With the Utah quarter, collectors have identified a number of fascinating errors. Some coins show doubled images, where parts of the design appear to overlap or repeat. Others display off-center strikes, creating a dramatic misalignment of the design. There are also examples with die cracks, clipped planchets, and other striking flaws that make each error coin unique. Error coins are highly desirable because they are so scarce and unpredictable. No two are exactly alike, which makes them miniature treasures. A Utah quarter with a dramatic error combines the popularity of the state quarter series with the thrill of a one-of-a-kind collectible, and that combination is irresistible for serious coin hunters. Proof versions of the Utah quarter also add to the excitement. Proofs are struck with special dies and polished planchets, resulting in a mirror-like finish that is breathtaking to see. While many proofs are collected in sets, the rarest examples that remain flawless over time can also achieve impressive values. When you combine a proof strike with the possibility of an unusual error, you have a coin that collectors will battle to own. Think about it, an ordinary-looking quarter from 2007 that might be sitting unnoticed in a drawer, a coin jar, or a roll of change, could actually be a treasure worth thousands. That's what makes coin collecting such a thrilling hobby. Every coin has a story, and some of them hide fortunes in plain sight. The Utah quarter is a perfect reminder of this truth. So here's the part you've been waiting for. While most Utah quarters are only worth a quarter, the rarest examples, those in pristine mint state condition or displaying spectacular minting errors, have been known to reach truly astonishing amounts on the collector's market. In fact, some of the most extraordinary Utah quarters have been valued as high as $80,000, yes, you heard that correctly. $80,000 for a single quarter. That's the kind of value that makes coin collectors keep searching, keep inspecting, and keep believing that the next coin they hold just might be the treasure they've been waiting for. So if you come across a Utah 2007 state quarter, don't overlook it. Take the time to examine its details, look for unusual marks or errors, and consider its condition. You never know, you could be holding one of the most valuable quarters ever produced. Top 4. We're exploring one of the most fascinating coins from the U.S. Mint State and Territory Quarter Program. While most people know about the 50 states featured between 1999 and 2008, fewer realize that in 2009 the Mint honored America's territories as well. Among them is a coin that stands out for its history, its design, and its hidden potential value, the Guam State Quarter, released in 2009. At first glance, it may seem like an ordinary 25-cent piece, but collectors know this coin can be something very special. By the end of this video, you'll learn just how rare some of these quarters can be and how much they might be worth if you're lucky enough to find one. Let's start with a bit of background. Guam is an unincorporated territory of the United States located in the western Pacific Ocean. Its history is rich and complex, shaped by indigenous Chamorro culture, Spanish colonization, and eventually becoming a key U.S. territory. The release of the Guam Quarter in 2009 was not just about money, it was about identity, heritage, and recognition. Each coin struck was a small tribute to the people and history of this unique island. Now let's look at the design. On the obverse side, we see the familiar portrait of George Washington, the face that unites all the quarters in this series. But flip it over and the reverse tells Guam's story. The design features an outline of the island itself, along with a flying prow, which is a traditional sailing vessel used by the Chamorro people, and a latte stone, which is a pillar structure unique to Guam's culture and history. Together, these symbols highlight Guam's deep cultural roots and resilience. For collectors, the design adds to the appeal, making this coin not only currency but also a miniature history lesson. Of course, what really grabs collectors' attention is rarity. The Guam Quarter had a much smaller mintage compared to many state quarters. Because it was part of the short 6-coin series for the territories, fewer were produced, and that makes them harder to find in circulation today. The lower the mintage, the higher the potential value, especially when combined with other factors. Condition is the first key factor. A Guam quarter that has circulated heavily is usually worth no more than face value. But if you find one in pristine, uncirculated condition, bright, sharp, and without scratches, it immediately becomes more valuable. Collectors and grading companies give the highest premiums to coins that look like they just left the mint, and Guam quarters in high mint state grades are already desirable. Then we get to the truly exciting part, minting errors. Error coins are where the magic happens in coin collecting. They are the accidents of the minting process, and with the Guam quarter, there are some fascinating examples. Doubled dies, where design elements appear doubled, can make a coin stand out dramatically. Off-center strikes, where part of the design is cut off or misplaced, are also highly sought after. Some Guam quarters even display die cracks, clipped planchets, or unusual metal flaws that make each piece unique. Error coins like these are incredibly collectible because no two are exactly alike, and their rarity makes them worth far more than a typical coin. Proof versions of the Guam quarter add another layer of intrigue. Proofs are struck with extra care, giving them mirror-like finishes and stunning detail. While many are preserved in collector sets, those that remain untouched and flawless can become especially valuable. And if a proof quarter happens to have a minting anomaly, its value skyrockets even further. All of these factors, lower mintage, pristine condition, and rare minting errors, combine to create the potential for extraordinary value. Imagine finding one of these in a coin jar or tucked away in a collection, only to realize that it's worth far more than you ever expected. That's the thrill that drives coin collecting, the possibility that hidden treasures are still out there, waiting to be discovered. So, how much can a Guam quarter from 2009 really be worth? While the vast majority remain ordinary 25-cent pieces, the rarest examples, those in superb condition or showing dramatic errors, have been known to reach astonishing values. In fact, some of the most extraordinary Guam quarters have been valued as high as $78,000, yes, $78,000 for a single quarter. That's the incredible potential hiding in what might look like just another coin. It's proof that history, rarity, and condition can turn pocket change into a small fortune. So the next time you come across a Guam 2009 quarter, take a careful look. You just might be holding one of the most valuable treasures in modern U.S. coinage. Top 5. We're going to talk about one of the later issues in the America the Beautiful Quarter series, a coin that not only captures a turning point in U.S. history but also carries serious potential value for collectors. We are focusing on the Saratoga Quarter from 2015, a piece that tells the story of America's fight for independence while holding the possibility of being worth a fortune. Stick with me until the very end, because you'll want to hear just how much one of these coins can be worth if you happen to find the right example. The Saratoga Quarter was released in 2015 as part of the America the Beautiful series, which ran from 2010 through 2021. Each design honored a national park or historic site across the country. For New York, the U.S. Mint chose Saratoga National Historical Park, a site forever remembered as the location of one of the most decisive battles of the American Revolutionary War. The victory at Saratoga in 1777 was the turning point that convinced France to join forces with the young United States, changing the course of history. On the obverse of the quarter, as with the rest of the series, you'll find the classic portrait of George Washington. But flip it over and you'll see the detail that makes this coin so special. The reverse depicts the moment of British surrender, with a sword being offered from a defeated British general to the victorious American forces. It's a striking image of triumph and unity, engraved with precision to remind us of the sacrifices made to secure independence. Collectors are drawn to this design not only for its artistry but for the powerful story it represents. Now, let's talk about why this coin is so fascinating in the world of numismatics. The Saratoga Quarter was minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, with circulation strikes and special proofs. Millions were produced, but as every seasoned collector knows, rarity is not only about mintage numbers, it's also about condition and errors. Most Saratoga quarters you'll find in circulation will show signs of wear and will only ever be worth face value. However, coins that were preserved in mint condition, especially those graded high by professional grading services, can already sell for impressive amounts. Collectors seek out coins with brilliant luster, sharp details, and no scratches or nicks. A Saratoga quarter in gem mint state looks almost like a miniature medal, and those pristine examples are the first step toward real value, but where things get truly exciting is in the world of minting errors. The U.S. Mint is known for its precision, yet mistakes still happen. Double die errors, where parts of the design appear duplicated, can make the Saratoga quarter look dramatically different. Off-center strikes, where the design is shifted noticeably, also make for eye-catching rarities. There are even examples with die cracks, misaligned edges, or unusual planchet flaws that make each coin one of a kind. Error coins are highly prized because they are so scarce, and when paired with a popular design like Saratoga, they become must-have pieces for serious collectors. Proof versions of the Saratoga quarter also hold strong collector interest. Proofs are struck with polished dies and special planchets, creating sharp, mirror-like finishes. They were sold directly to collectors in sets, but only the most flawless and untouched proofs hold significant value today. And of course, a proof coin with an error is the holy grail, a combination so rare that collectors will pay huge sums to own one. What makes the Saratoga quarter especially appealing is the historical weight behind it. Collecting this coin isn't just about owning metal, it's about holding a piece of America's story, the moment when victory seemed possible and independence became real. This emotional connection drives demand, and when rarity and condition come into play, the value can soar. So here's the big reveal. While most Saratoga quarters are worth only a quarter, the rarest examples, those with exceptional preservation or dramatic minting errors, have been known to reach astonishing prices at auctions and private sales. Some of the most extraordinary Saratoga quarters have sold for as much as $76,000, yes, $76,000 for a single 25-cent coin. That is the kind of hidden value that keeps collectors searching and keeps the hobby alive with excitement. So the next time you come across a Saratoga quarter from 2015, don't overlook it. Take a close look at the details, check for errors, and consider its condition. You just might be holding one of the most valuable coins of the entire series. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on more discoveries about rare and valuable coins. Keep searching your change, because the next fortune could be sitting right in your hands.